Hello, Nardeth here with a flipping impressions video on the Cold Steel Archangel. This will not be a review on the knife. This is going to be my impressions on how it flips. Stuff like the rust problem, we all know it, and the T-latch. Everyone, we're all on the same page on that. I just want to say how I like how it flips. As you can tell, this clip came off pretty instantaneously. Like, I took it off 5 minutes within having it. By the way, this is Sonofthebong's Archangel, good friend of mine. He's lending me the B400 before, and he's lending me this one for me to try to see my impressions. So first off, length of the handles. You can totally tell when you're doing rollovers. I find it's not as quick as the 42. That extra eighth of an inch, I think it is, really does make a difference when you're flipping. You can tell. Makes for a little, like, it's a little bit more floaty, is a term that I like to use, or that I've been heard use. It's a little bit more floaty than the 42. It's fast. It's good for rollovers. I found I had a harder time twirling, like vertical twirling, like scissoring and stuff. Is not as fast as the 42 for me. Rollovers, I've been able to do them pretty good. Chaplains weren't instantaneous. I had to adapt to it. I found it would fly off a lot, but maybe it's because when I had it, it was like full of oil. So I mean, that easily makes chaplains harder. I try to keep oil on it every night before I go to bed. It's not too bad. You can't really tell, but it's awesome knife. I like how it flips. It's really good for transfers. That extra blade length really helps. Like, gives you a bit more room to play around with tabletop stuff. On the side, tabletop stuff is really good. Just because it's a little bit wider than the 42. Balance wise, like I said, a little floaty, so I could use a little bit more handle, or a little bit more weight towards the end of the handles. And like, play wise, a little bit of play, but that's just, I never adjusted these so yeah, I haven't adjusted these since I got them, so I don't really, and for me, play is not a big deal. I actually like a little bit of play on my knives when I flip. I haven't bothered any Loctite and taken apart. T-latch, there's always that issue with the T-latch. I find it does get in the way. I find when I'm doing tabletops, when I'm trying to do, this happens a lot when I'm doing tabletops, or when you're trying to finish a trick and you gets in the way. I'm not used to it. I'm used to the spring latch, so something that I don't really have time to adapt to. It takes, a few months to adapt to having that T-latch. Other than that, it's really smooth. I found no squeaking, but as well, I keep it oiled. So, what else to say? I find aerials are not, or the dynamics of aerial is different. The spinning I find is a little slower. I haven't attempted many power aerials, mostly because it's not my knife, and power aerials really take a toll on, especially the tip of a knife, as you can tell with my 42. Yeah. But this knife is awesome to have, as a secondary flipper. I wouldn't use it for a primary. I'm hoping the Alpha Beast will be my primary, but this is definitely a good knife to own if you're a flipper. It's just, a fast, long knife. I really much like it, and so yeah, that's pretty much it. Archangel, Cold Steel, Sonofthebong, thank you very much for lending me this knife, and stay stay tuned for pro reel, or not pro reel, but just a few flipping clips with this knife. Know that.